everyone, my name is Leanne, and I am a mentor teacher with the PalFish Kids Official Kids course. So, today was an incredibly busy day, and the summer season is really picking up. And, in the past, I guess 2 or 3 days, I've had some students, well, maybe two students in particular, that were really late to class. Like, one student came to class at 18 minutes and the other student was like 11 or 12 minutes late to class. So I just wanted to kind of, cover some things to think about when a student is late to class. What should we do when a student is late? So we're sitting there waiting, and this is for an official course student. I have posted an article in training about when a student is late to a trial class and what you can do as far as that goes. Those are just some suggestions and tips for you to think about and consider. Now, I know that our classes theoretically should finish at minute 25, but more often than not, I do find myself extending the lesson beyond the 25 minutes. Not everyone does this. Some teachers like to finish right on time at 25 minutes. And just personally, I like to, maybe give my students some more time to finish the lesson. So, I had a student who entered the class at 18 minutes, and it was a level 3 test. Now, there's not really a whole lot that we can cover in that time, but she was, kind of adept enough to be able to finish the test in time. However, I finished the lesson quite late with her, and I did have a lesson following that test. So, what should we do? Should we announce to the student, "Hey, you're late. What are you doing? Why are you late?" Don't do that. I don't suggest that. I think it's very unfriendly, and I think that it can come across as maybe making the student feel bad when there could be a situation why they were late. Now, for this student, the mom messaged me immediately after the class and said, "I'm really sorry she overslept." And I said, I totally understand. I totally get it. Because she's really exhausted, and she had been studying for exams and working really hard and things like that. So, we have to be understanding of our students' situation and, the unknowns, the things that we don't know. We cannot assume that we know why a student is late. So, I would recommend don't be angry about the situation either. Don't be bothered or put off because, they did come and, we still have enough time to teach them to the best of our ability, and our parents are incredibly understanding. Now, if the student is super late like that, would you recommend in your feedback or something for the student to book the same class again or request another class with the head teacher? I would not recommend that personally. I would not say to do that. I think that that's at the parent's discretion, and, cover the material as best as you can in the time that you have allotted. When we've got longer time with the student, obviously we can extend the lesson and we can make all of the warm-up talk that we like to do with them and things like that. But sometimes we are not completely afforded to do that, especially if they are late. So with this student, I did the best that I could to cover the test material in order for her to answer the questions so I could give her an assessment of what she, covered and did over the unit and how she did and things like that. So, that's something to think about and consider. I had a student tonight, actually, who is in the K level. It's now the K level, and I think we're in unit 2 or 3, and she was 11 minutes late for class. Now, she is a zero-based student, which means that we are working from the ground up and, trying to work with, very simple things. Like vocabulary and building up vocabulary and building up, certain types of content knowledge. So I often spend a lot of extra time with this student because, at this level, it does require a bit of patience, and a bit of waiting for the student to formulate the answer in their mind. And so at first I looked at the clock and the timer and I was like, okay, it's 12 minutes. How can I do this? Am I going to do it? So what I suggest also is that you Greet the student warmly as if they are coming into the class on time. Greet them warmly and be friendly, and just proceed through the lesson as if they were entering the class when the timer is at 0. This can maybe ease the parent's mind from feeling as stressed about entering class late. And you don't have to point out the obvious either. You don't have to be like, well, you're late. How are we going to do this? It's just a bad attitude overall. Be cheerful with the student and, just proceed through the lesson as is and try to do as much as you can. Personally, like I said, I stay beyond the 25 minutes. That's my choice. But we do have the 25-minute timer, which means when it hits 25, you can leave class. But what if you reach a situation where you still have a few more slides to cover? Should you just leave at the 25 minutes and just, be like, okay, well, we couldn't finish? Or should you extend the lesson? In my case, I would extend the lesson because I am thinking about the parent and the student and their needs. And, if you know what you're going to cover in the next lesson, you can kind of adapt what you're doing in this lesson to anticipate the next lesson and just to make sure, of things. Tonight with this student, I was able to do a greeting. We had warm-up conversation and, and we went through the lesson and we did it. We finished it at minute 28 and it was great and it was fun. And, she's so sweet and, she's a student that I am just really enjoying, like, watching her grow and everything. And, my other student, she's an older student and she's got a lot on her plate and a lot of responsibilities. And so when we enter our classes, think about the bigger picture, think about, what's going on beyond just, the student being late, Let's not speculate any reasons for why the student's late. Let's not ask them why they were late. Let's not kind of, make them... I don't like to make anyone feel bad. That's just me. I don't want them to feel bad. So, those are just my thoughts about being late and some things that you should consider yourself. As always, I will see you tomorrow, and I hope that everyone is having an amazing day, evening, or whatever it is, and I hope that you are having a great start to the summer season. So let's look forward to it together. So when they enter